Hey, this is Robert Patrick. I'm on Loveline. Coming up next.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content.
Loveline. Viewer discretion advised.
Good evening and welcome to Loveline. Tonight our special guest is Robert Patrick. My name is Diane Farr and here are the men of Loveline, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hurry to get out here.
What'd you say?
You're in a hurry to get out here tonight.
I am, yeah. I'm in a hurry to get out of here. I want to get out of here.
You were wondering where the hell you are.
Get this thing up and going here.
Let's go.
All right. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, Dixie medicine specialist.
You're not going
Diane
fast enough,
Farr,
Adam. Come on.
over there. We're going to go out in the audience, talk to some people. We're going to go to the phones, talk to some people.
Yeah.
We use a cursed via TV phone, talk to some people. Drew, perhaps, is going to go out in the audience and talk to some people himself, personally.
Fantastic.
That's right. We're going to hear what they have to say. And tonight, our guest from the movie The Faculty, Robert Patrick, will be in here. Robert is best known from his Terminator 2. He was
And Copland
yeah,
also.
and Copland too. But just, that was the greatest movie ever, and we'll talk about that when he comes out.
Copland?
No, T2.
Oh, yeah.
T2.
Yeah, it was.
That's like Star Trek, people calling it Trekkies, and T2 is for Terminator people.
Yeah. No, it is not. That's what they called it on the billboard. Don't get me and lump me in those Dungeon and Dragon playing freaks just because I'm reading. Jared.
Yeah.
You're 19. What's going on?
All right. Well, me and my roommate, we're on the baseball team, and whenever I come back to my room, he's always buck naked. And, you know, it's starting to affect my social life and my schoolwork.
Is there just one room in your dorm room?
Yeah, it's just me and him.
But, I mean, is there like a sitting area or a living room or anything like that?
No, it's just one small room. It's just me and him.
He's lying on his bed or something?
Couch, chair. We have a couch and a chair. And TV. He's watching TV, studying. Whatever he does, it seems like he's always naked.
So, so he's naked everywhere, and you're uncomfortable with this.
No. It's starting to bug me really bad now.
No, he's not uncomfortable.
But you're not uncomfortable with it. It's just really bugging you.
Well, it's getting to the point where I am starting to get uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, don't stop me all the time, everybody, with their no. It's the one thing. It's one of the things I hate about this show, which is everybody stop. No. It's this way, and then they go and tell you it's the way you said it.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable with it. You don't like it.
No.
Okay.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, and all he says is, says he has the right to do it because it's his room too.
Have you talked about your resident advisor about it?
No, because I mean I don't want to call him as a narc because he's on my teammate, and I don't want to feel.
Have you talked to your coach about it?
Hey,
I mean,
yeah, wait
source
a
of
minute.
conflict
You
with
can't
the
tell
team.
the coach.
I mean, it's a source of conflict. The
Might
guy won't
be.
cooperate. Living environment's getting stressful. I mean, the guy will not cooperate. He's confronted him. The guy says, hey, screw you.
And if he doesn't want to rat him out, probably the best way to get him is to jeer him in the locker room.
Have you really confronted him?
Aggressively or firmly?
Well, I mean I haven't yelled at him, but
But you've been very direct and very explicit with him.
I tell him, you being naked in a room all the time, it's starting, it's affecting me. You may be comfortable with it, but I'm not.
And what's he say?
He goes, well, you're just going to have to live with either that or get a new roommate, and I'm about to that point.
Well,
Then
why
you
don't
go to
do
the
that?
RA. He
I mean, if he's okay with that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that he's on my team, and
Hey, Blood, but your relationship.
He's the one who's screwing with the relationship, though. It's
and
like,
he's already at the point where he's saying, hey, the relationship will be better off if we part.
Right.
It will be better off as teammates if we're not roommates.
Speaking of parting, think about his ass cheeks everywhere. Skid marks on the sofa, skid marks on the chair.
Not everybody has so much hair, so things don't remain continent the way you do.
Oh, I just got a total picture.
Yeah, not a good one either. All right, confront the guy. You've confronted him. He doesn't want anything to do with you. Move
Change
on.
roommate. Absolutely. You're better off as teammates.
Believe me. And listen, everybody. Here's what I'm going to tell my kids, and if I don't have kids, I'll tell Drew's kids this. Don't worry about offending the insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What am I going to do? I told him to put some clothes on. He won't do it. He's my hate. Don't worry about people that are unreasonable.
Yeah.
Right?
How weird is it that we got a roommate calling? Anna ran across behind here to tell me something before we came out. A name of a roommate you had.
I'm Gad Abu Zam Zam.
She came and told me that.
That was his name?
Yeah.
What'd you call him, like, around the house?
I called him Ummy, Bad when I wanted something, and Bitch on weekends.
What was the name again?
I'm Gad Abu Zam Zam.
It's comical.
That's my roommate. Hey, nice guy. All right. Josh is on the phone. Josh is 20.
Okay, one of my first girlfriends and I used to have sex outdoors, and at first it was pretty much just for fun, but it started getting more and more daring. We went from places like out in the woods or in the fields or whatever to train in airplane bathrooms, deserted parking lots, even like up against storefront windows really late at night. And we were only caught once, but it was a really big turn-on when we were, and so here's what the problem is.
What happened when you were caught?
It was actually her parents' friends that drove. We were up against the storefront window, like I said, and we were out in kind of off of the main drag, but they drove by and saw us, and obviously it broke it up, and she was really freaked about it, and that.
I could see him getting on the phone. I don't want to alarm you, but there's a couple of mannequins that look just like Josh and Susan getting it on in the
Well, they didn't know who I
window.
was, so I was really glad about that. But
All right.
still, but the problem is I've got a new girlfriend now, and I want to try this with her because I'm kind of hooked on this whole thing now, but she doesn't like the idea at all. And so what I want to know is if I have a big problem and how I can convince her to try it.
You
I
can't
don't know. Sometimes, how do people get other kids to do drugs? That's cool.
tell her it's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to pressure her into it or anything. I just, I don't even know how to
sounds that
approach
way,
the subject.
Josh.
I'd like to try it.
Well, you did bring it up, and she doesn't want to.
So,
Yeah.
so you want to pressure
So,
her.
it's not that you don't know how to broach the subject. You broached the subject. Her answer was no. You want to know how to manipulate your subject,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, Josh,
Okay.
bring it
That's
up,
fine.
bring it up a couple more times, and express how important it is to you, what the experience is for you.
Yeah.
And if she is not into it, she's telling you she is not into it, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the way it goes.
When I did bring it up, it was right at the beginning of the relationship.
All
We'd
right.
only been going out a couple of weeks, and we actually hadn't even had sex at all at that point.
All right, all right.
So it might be different now, but
Might be different, and don't hammer her about it. I mean, just don't keep at her about it. Bring it up a couple more times. She's not interested. She's telling you she's not interested, and that's that.
And listen, don't get into the sick stuff before you get started. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Get
there's-
laid first, everybody.
Which
These
should be
guys start
fun
talking
all in
about what they're
itself.
into, and they haven't even got some, which could jeopardize the whole getting some in the first place anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't start
Yeah.
getting in your bizarre sexual philosophy before you get their panties off.
I don't even know why she stuck around. In
Yeah, make them
reality.
think you're sane long enough so they can get naked. That's my
Get
plan.
them hooked in and then turn
How do you
them
manage
over.
that?
I just keep quiet.
Okay.
How long does it take you to fart in front of a woman?
How long? Depends what I ate. You mean like at what point, what phase of the relationship? Well, usually it starts when they spend the night because you're deep in sleep. And guys, you know how it is. You've been asleep for 6-7 hours, and you're not used to having someone in the bed with you because if it's a new relationship, maybe you've gone 6 months without anything. You've not had someone sleeping next to you. So you're turned the other way.
Ooh.
You're half asleep. You let the thing fly because you don't know anyone's in the room with you. But about halfway into it, before it's too late to suck it back, by the way, with a well-timed hiccup, it's out. And you know it's out. Your ass is still going, I'm not done yet. And then you lie there and you think, okay, I know she heard that. She's probably smiling. Should I comment? Or should I just sort of ride it out or pretend like I was asleep or flap the covers or what's my next maneuver? But that's the first one. And if they don't object too much then,
But the advice to
that's when the floodgates open.
But the advice to the ladies is make a big deal right then.
Yeah,
Right
make a big stink about the stink
Right there.
initially,
Yeah.
or there'll be much more to come. Metric yards of it. All right. That reminds me, I haven't farted in like 30 seconds. Sure. Our next guest stars in the new movie, The Faculty. You also know him from Terminator 2 and many, many other movies. Robert Patrick is here.
Good to see you. Hey, good to see you, Robert. Dr. Drew.
All right, so before we get into the faculty, let me kiss a little T2 ass
All right.
for just 1 second and make this comment. You know, they don't give sci-fi movies movie of the year, best picture.
Right.
They don't, because they're science fiction and the snobs snub their nose at this over at the Academy. But it's best picture. You know what I'm saying? I know it's 10 years old, I'm living in the past, but this movie had the best special effects, great story, great acting. It was pulled off completely. Sequels are hard to do, oftentimes worse than the first. This was twice as good. And I would have given it best picture just because it was the picture.
The overall.
Meanwhile, My Left Foot gets it or whatever because a guy was retarded and he painted
MTV
clowns
gave it
with his toe.
MTV gave it Best Picture.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the first MTV Movie Award. Best
Really?
Picture.
Yeah,
so
it should because
we got that.
it's everything. It's cinematography, it's special effects,
Yeah.
it's
Acting
picture.
story, yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the faculty.
Yeah, another
I haven't
sci-fi
seen it, but I've
movie.
seen a commercial where the guy's finger is a little clawed.
There's
I like
some
that.
there's some alien things happening in that as well. Yeah, it's sci-fi thriller. It's what everybody thought in high school. What your teachers are aliens, and this is basically what happens. So Elijah Wood and his crew of guys are going against their faculty, and I play the head football coach, and they actually become sweeter when I become an alien. So I'm actually a nicer guy, which is
Right.
the clue to everybody that
Right.
hey, something's up with the coach.
Yeah, because the shop teachers and the coaches in high school couldn't get any meaner. It would implode.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got any
The
meaner,
universe
it'd
would
be worse.
unravel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get really, really sweet. That's what happens to me. But it's a really cool flick. Robert Rodriguez directing, and Kevin Williamson is our screenwriter, who did, of course, Scream.
Right.
And Scream 2, and
I love all
few
that.
others.
I love it when kids are beating the crap out of faculty, even if they're fake faculty. And what'd you do?
Yeah.
You took over the faculty's body or soul?
the alien just sort of inhabits my body, so I look like I do now throughout the whole film. So it's what's going on.
But the original
internally.
coach was you, and then the alien crawled in your butt.
Exactly.
Yeah, they never know how they
that's
get
actually
in, but
how
I'm
it happened.
assuming it's in the butt.
It
right?
was. That's exactly how it happens. It's really just sort of goes like
They
that.
cut that scene.
Rental for some of our producers. Brad is 27.
Oh my God.
Brad is on the phone. Brad.
Hey, I've been dating my girlfriend for 2 years. Last year, as a joke, I suggested we go to a strip club together. She refused at first, but finally gave in. Now she's really into the idea of bringing another girl home for a three-way. She even role-plays about it during sex. It's all she talks about now. I'm starting to get nervous about how into the idea of it she is. I think she really wants to do it. What should I do?
Are you sure she is serious about doing it? It's not just a fantasy of hers?
Oh, no, it pretty much is all she talks about when she's aroused is having another girl involved with us.
Has she ever done anything like this before?
No, she's never done anything like this before.
How have her relationships been in the past?
She's gotten along pretty well with others. She's only been involved in a serious relationship before me one other time, I think, so I don't think she's dysfunctional or anything. I just think she's seriously interested in it.
What was the thing about the strip club? Did you say she'd been going to them?
Well, no, about a year ago I just suggested, as a joke that we go to a strip club together, and she was all apprehensive about it at first, but then about 6 months ago she brought it up, so we went together.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, she really liked it.
Yeah.
The joy of opening Pandora's box.
Yeah.
She's into.
Are we allowed to say that?
What?
She's into X-rated movies and all
Pandora's
that too.
Well, look.
Well, listen, we're getting chaos here, but it doesn't necessarily mean wholesale chaos or that she's nutty.
But it may just be a misconception. I mean, she's into porn. She goes to these places where the culture says threesomes are a good thing and a very provocative thing, without her really understanding what the emotional consequences are going to be. And the consequences are, Brad, that your relationship will start having problems.
Definitely.
It will destabilize your relationship. Now, if that's not important to you or her, whatever.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that Brad said she had one other serious relationship. She may just be at a point where she wants to go experiment for better or for worse, and there may not be that much you can do to derail that.
Right.
It might be good to do it now, too, while she's... How old is she?
She's 20.
20?
Yeah.
20?
All right, so yeah, that may well be, and but again, beware, the relationship will suffer.
Yeah, it's going to have an effect on her for sure.
That's all. It will have an effect. Right.
All right, Brad. Men have been in worse positions than Brad does.
Yeah. And you know, watch if they're going to go to a strip club or get a prostitute or something. I mean, STD risks, safe sex, all that needs to be carefully considered.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then ignored, but at least think about it before you get drunk and forget to put the condom on. I agree with Drew.
Well, I don't
Shelley.
Shelley?
Yes, Shelley.
Hi.
Yeah.
That's your real name, right?
I have a little dilemma. My husband and I worked for his uncle and aunt, and he worked really long hours, and I got involved with his uncle. And about 8 months ago, we quit there and we started our own business. And we're doing really well, and I want to know if I should let my husband know about this or not.
Is this still going on?
It isn't. It lasted for about 9 months, and that was about probably 2 years ago.
Do you have kids?
We have 2.
Okay.
All right. We got all our information. We're going to take a break. We'll put the information in the hopper. We'll come back. We'll spit out an answer.
If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day, 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
All right, more Loveline with Robert Patrick from the faculty. And Shelley is still on the phone. Shelley had an affair with an uncle. It was a couple of years ago. She had it for 9 months. Now her and her husband have started their own business. They're out of there. They're doing fine. She wants to know whether to bring it up or not. Shelley?
Yeah.
All right. The affair was 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And your husband doesn't suspect.
No.
And you're away from the situation.
Yeah, it was a real bad environment over there.
And you're committed to your husband now?
Yes.
What do you mean it's a bad environment? What does that mean?
A lot of drugs over there. I
With
was
the uncle?
like dope every day. My husband was doing speed every day, and the aunt and the uncle were heavily involved in all that kind of stuff.
How about you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I smoked a lot of dope. I never did anything other than that.
Are you an alcoholic?
What kind of business was it? A religious gift shop? Or soft serve ice
Something to
cream?
that effect, yeah.
What were you selling, seriously?
It was a custom cabinet and furniture store.
Oh, okay.
Home furnishings, and it was a small business. I mean, you know.
All right.
So the drugs were a creative device.
Let's hear what the audience
We're
says.
out of there now, but we'll turn to the audience.
All right.
Well, I was going to advise to Shelley that she needs to come clean about this just to take the weight of the issue out of the relationship. I mean, for one thing, if she's thinking about it enough to call and ask for advice, it's going to be one of those things she's not going to be able to just mull over and act like it didn't happen. But before that, she needs to assess the damage it is going to potentially do to her relationship, along with the relationship this might have with your husband and his uncle, because that will have lasting effects as well.
Well, yeah, that was pretty good.
Very articulate.
That advice is solid, except for the part about not lying.
Can I ask, what is prompting you now to bring this up?
Well, because our business is doing really well. I mean, much better than theirs. And I'm afraid that his uncle might say something to...
Because he's angry.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I don't think that she should tell. It's two years ago, 9 months. Things are going well with her husband. I don't think she should tell. There's a lot of bad stuff that could come up after that. So I think she should just go with it and forget about it and try to go on.
I think that there's a lot more going on here than this affair. And if you don't do something about those things, this is a moot point.
Why? Because of the drugs?
The addiction. Okay. Now, is he in recovery now?
We've totally just, I mean, we're not doing drugs anymore.
But he's drinking.
No.
Listen, people don't just stop being addicts, okay? He will continue with something eventually. And you need some codependency recovery, right? I mean, I would suggest you don't focus on the affair. It was part of the wreckage of the relationship and the addictions and the mess you were in. and focus on getting some form of involvement in some sort of recovery. And in your case, I would think codependency recovery would be the place to start. Go through a program and then see how you feel about this.
Well, let me just say one thing. This was not a sexual affair. It was just more because my husband worked, like, a lot.
So it was an intimacy. Well, he was strung out on speed.
Hold on, quiet down there, Drew. What do you mean it wasn't a sexual affair?
It wasn't sexual. It was just I didn't have
What did you do?
a listening partner. It was just a lot of fooling around. I mean, nothing oral. I mean, just a lot of heavy petting and kissing.
You don't do something to confront
the addiction, but as far as you holding hands and playing kissy-touchy with this guy, don't even open that. Don't even get into that.
Your husband was strung out on speed. It's impossible to have a relationship with somebody who's strung out on speed. Of course you felt abandoned. Of course there was a lot of chaos. And what you did was you just sought out some sort of a life preserver in this storm. The addiction will come back. It will resurface in some way. Your codependency is still there. If you don't do something about those issues, this is going to come back, and it's far more important than should I or should I not tell him about what happened. Don't tell him for the time being.
Okay.
All right?
They addressed that a half hour ago in the audience. Doreen is now on the Via TV phone. Let me tell you why this is a personal favorite of mine. I couldn't think of any reasons. Doreen?
Hello.
You're 18.
Okay. Yes, I am.
That is Lisa Loeb meets Winona Judd. And Boy George.
Oh.
That's not necessarily bad.
What's going on, Doreen?
Oh, well, anyway, so my mom got married 2 years ago, and her husband that she got married to has a son about my age. And so 2 weeks ago, we went away on a family trip to Vail, and I shared a room with my stepbrother. And, well, we kind of fooled around while we were away on this trip. And, well, I really have a lot of feelings for my brother. I mean, we're more like friends than like brother and sister, and I just don't know what I should do about this entire situation.
How about putting a stop to it?
Oh, wait a second. How long has he been your stepbrother?
For 2 years, but we only lived together for a couple of months.
Uh-huh. And did you have sex with him?
Well, basically everything but.
You got a couple of 17-year-olds, a couple of 18-year-olds, a couple of 16-year-olds, 16 and 17-year-olds, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Introduce them at 15 or 16, tell them to live down the hall, something's going to happen. It's almost an impossibility because of where they're at that point in their life.
Right.
And it's inappropriate, but you can't blame them because the biology takes over.
All right, so we're not condemning what you did, but we're saying put a stop to it, get some boundaries, because this could be a very disruptive relationship in your family system. I mean, it could be a mess. These relationships at 18 don't last. What do you do if you really develop feelings for your stepbrother and then it doesn't work out? He starts seeing somebody else. A mess, okay? So, you know, it's great that you have intimate feelings for him. Don't feel bad that they went...
It's not great.
No, I don't mean that kind of intimate. It's good that she feels strongly about her stepbrother, but don't, try to step back a little bit and say, put the boundaries down and go on as a family, okay?
And it's important to know you'll have these feelings for someone else. He's probably just the closest guy to you.
Of course.
Maybe
so
a cousin
it would allow
or something,
you to develop them faster.
All right, Doreen? All right, Doreen, thanks for your call.
All right, Blair's in front of the wall of shame. That's where we put the audience members have been extra naughty. Blair?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a friend that I've been friends with for about 10 years now, and all of a sudden, every time I see him shake his hand, anything, instant erection. And he's really proud of it and swings it around in front of my face. And
What?
I really don't know what to do.
What?
She really... I didn't catch a lot of it. Anytime she sees him, shakes his hand.
He develops an erection and then swings it around.
Yeah.
Swings it around like pants down, swinging around?
No, pants on.
How do you swing around when your pants... I mean, forgive me.
Just shaking it in front of my face.
But is he pointed out?
He's proud of it.
He points it out and makes an issue of it?
Yeah, he's really proud of it and shows all us girls, and all of a sudden he's just becoming a pervert.
The guy's out of line.
Yeah.
It's all right not to be friends with people you formerly were friends with because they're doing things that are bizarre, out of line, dangerous, insulting, what have you.
Right.
This guy's probably got a career as a exotic dancer.
You just create consequences for this guy. Hey, you continue this? I'm not coming around. I'm not going to be around you. I'm serious. This is offensive and bothers me.
Well,
right, Blair?
another thing is, well, he's my boyfriend.
Please don't let us go on for 20 minutes before you interject with that
another
information.
Situation.
He's your boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's supposed to wave his penis around in front of you.
That's
Not in front of all our friends, though.
Why didn't you say he was your boyfriend?
Well, I was a little bit nervous.
She's embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's why she's pointed that way.
All right, here's the deal. You have even more power then.
Right. Now you should really break up with him.
Break up with him or hold out on him or great consequences if he continues this. But don't threaten consequences and then not follow through. All right? Just look, make it very clear to him. Here's what's going to happen if you do this. Like a 2-year-old.
Right.
Here's what's going to happen if you do this, and if it happens, make the consequence. All right?
Okay.
That's it, buddy. Gotta do it.
Thanks.
I'm asking a lot of her.
Does he ever show you that ether bottle?
Waving his penis around. All right, Karen is on the phone. Karen?
My question, a couple of weeks ago, I was cleaning the bathroom, and I found my boyfriend's porno magazine in the bottom drawer. And I know that, you know, most guys are like Adam, and they have stacks of pornography. But I just thought my boyfriend was different, you know. He's just a really sweet guy. And ever since then, you know, I keep getting this, like, freaky visual of him in the bathroom looking at other women in these magazines. And I was just wondering...
I'm sure he's picturing you, Karen.
That's what I wish he'd be picturing me in my bedroom instead. I want to know what the fascination men have with pornography, why women don't have it, and how I can get past this with my boyfriend.
All right.
Okay. The answer to the first two is nude chicks and nude chicks. We're going to take a look at a clip from the faculty. We'll get back to speak to Karan about Carl about her sexuality.
I love drugs in this world. What?
I have a pain. Right here.
Hi, I'm French Stewart, and you are watching Loveline on MTV. Trouble with your hooter? Problems with your goodie? You come to the right place.
You can email us your questions at loveline3@aol.com. Please include your phone number.
Robert Patrick is here from the faculty. That was his face with the veins bulging out of it. Oh, I don't know how your wife puts up with you.
I don't either, to be honest.
Karen.
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. Where are you
You
from?
said it
What
right.
kind of name is that?
I think it's Dutch, but I'm Croatian. It's a beautiful name.
It is.
Thank you.
Pitch to pronounce, but beautiful. You found your boyfriend's magazines in the lower drawer in the bathroom.
That's right.
And you don't like the idea that he's having himself to those.
I was just really surprised at him.
Right.
And it was a graphic magazine.
All right, Karen, and you want to know why men are that way.
You have an idea,
Well, you just have to accept
genetics. It is.
Well, I know why most men are that way, but are all men that way? I mean...
All men tend to be that way, yes.
Okay, is there a small percentage...
It's our job.
No, it is a biology of male to be preoccupied with the physical, with the visual aspect of sexuality. It's part of the roaming, searching biology that is inherent in testosterone and male brain structure. It is all males. Now, how much they express it or contain it, that's variable.
Okay, so my question, I have a bet with my roommates that there's got to be somebody like you, Dr. Drew, who doesn't have any kind of, pornography.
Karen, are you related to Dr. Drew?
Not at all.
Are you related to his wife?
You know, I believe that maybe Dr. Drew and his wife may, like, enjoy some eroticism, but as far as, like, Dr. Drew going on his own
As far as me what?
stack, you know, I don't know if that's happening. I've got money on him.
As far as me what? As far as me having any?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
No, he doesn't.
I don't
All right, but that's...
He's also 40 years old now.
That's because his wife would kick his ass like a beach ball.
No, it's not because of that. It's because I have three.
Well, she would too.
No, she wouldn't.
Yeah, oh, she wouldn't?
No, I have 3 kids in the house, and I
kicked my ass. She found porn.
And I will not have even there being any potential of anything like that being discovered.
So would you say that you've never had a magazine?
I didn't say that.
Okay, Karen, did you get that
I don't
part?
have any. It's not in my house.
He has a
That's
responsibility to your children.
That's
He's
it.
been clean and
Exactly
sober from pornography for 6 years now.
6 years. Because I used to find my dad's pornography.
Yeah, it's not good. That's why you're upset about it. He used to bug you with your dad.
Well, no, but something more with Dad.
No, she probably found it at a young age.
No, it's not my dad.
That's funny because I have no problem with pornography, and I never found anybody's pornography as a kid.
No, I'm not
There's
saying
nothing.
Dad did anything weird to you, but did your dad act in a way that toward your mom or something like that that you associated?
Never any disrespect or anything. I just, you know, I expect it from most men. And it always seems like the freakier the guy, the more porn they have. You know?
Adam is living proof of that. Anyway, how old were you when you found that?
Oh, I used to read Penthouse forums from 4th grade on.
Okay, that's not good. That's why it was disturbing to you. No, I'm serious.
That's
why it was.
She sounded a little nutty too, by the way. What do you do? What do you do for a living?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I have a couple jobs, actually.
Something with nails, maybe?
No, I don't paint nails. I'm a waitress, and I'm a substitute teacher.
Okay. But look, that kind of stuff can create all kinds of ambivalent, both provocative and ambivalent feelings as a young girl. I mean, it's understandable it'd be very bothersome for you to have guys that reminded you of all those feelings. It is reasonable. Don't freak out on this guy just because he happened to come across it. He's not into it. Discuss it with him. Try to express these feelings.
No, don't even bring it up. Leave the guy alone.
It's not about him. It's about her. She needs to go
I know, but her working on him is what caused him to go underground with it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
People, they let their feelings be known in weird ways early in the relationship. He knows she's going to spin out if she finds this, so he starts hiding it. And before you know it, it's a whole sort of underground relationship that he's having behind her back.
Is it really graphic stuff?
She said it was.
She said it was. Yeah. But isn't there a point, though, that if she was looking at pornography her entire childhood that belonged to her father, that would be information you'd probably want to give your partner?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
she has some issues.
I don't appreciate this being around.
Yeah.
And listen, we have never talked to a person in the 27 years I've been doing this program. I've never talked to someone who had a major problem with something that didn't have some connection to it in some way. And this is her connection.
That's right.
So it is sort of your thing more than it is
Of course it is, but she needs an opportunity to work it through,
All right.
though.
We're going to go to the Easy Bake Oven now, and we'll speak to Roz. Roz is 18, has a question. Is that Roz?
Hi, this is for Adam, Dr. Drew.
Yeah?
I was a freshman in high school. I was addicted to speed. Got off, went to rehab, lost lots of pounds or whatever, and I went back on speed. Like, I'm a senior in high school now, and because of it, my penis is broken. Can you help me fix it?
Oh, you got to get it fixed, man.
Hold on.
You're going to need it later.
You need that.
Drew, why don't you take a look at it? I'll tell you what. I'm going to sit here and take a look at another clip from the faculty. Drew's going to run back there with his kit and see if he can't fix up Roz's penis, and then we'll come back. We'll compare notes, all right?
Yes, I have a pencil. I have plenty of pencils. Look, why don't you and your pencil go home? It's late.
You look very, very pretty tonight.
Harassment has a really fine line, Coach. Haven't you read your handbook?
Oh, make me over. I'm all I wanna be. A walking study. If you have a question for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
More Loveline with Robert Patrick from the faculty. Roz, into speed, says the penis is broken.
I need a lot more information. You've been treated a couple times for amphetamine addiction?
Yes.
Are you in recovery now?
No.
Okay. And what's broken? What's the problem?
Like, it can't get up at all.
Okay, if you're on speed, it will not get up. And that process, that fact, can persist for up to 6 months after you stop doing speed. It will go back to normal, but you must stay abstinent for an extended period of time. And amphetamine is one of the most treacherous, pernicious drugs that there is. Because even if you're doing it once, 2, 3 times a week, that is enough to sustain the addiction and to sustain all the biological consequences. Let me predict something about you. It's Roz, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you have any sort of irritability or preoccupation about your friends or coworkers or family?
Yeah.
What? Nothing about them? They don't think they're talking about you or thinking about you?
Oh yeah, they always do.
What do they talk about?
They talk about the way I dress, how I act.
Do they tell
music.
you that, or are you just afraid they're talking about it?
They tell me that in my face.
Is there anything you're afraid they're talking about behind your back?
No.
Usually with speed, there's a, well, as usual, my examples, they don't work.
Stop fishing,
right,
please.
usually
You're the
with
worst
amphetamine.
fisherman in the world. The whole village would go hungry if you were in charge going fishing. I love when Drew does this. Drew starts fishing. I would predict that you're hearing voice, right? No. Your friends will talk? No. History of alcohol? No.
And what's more?
Okay, well, normally, 99.99% of the time, except for you.
All right,
And then,
Drew, just spit
but
it
the
out.
best is he then explains it and they go, oh yeah, I do have that.
Yeah, I know.
So they
I know.
make an ass out of
They
it.
worry about they resist against the man.
I'm the man. With amphetamine dependency, usually people get a preoccupation with their family, friends, coworkers, that they're sort of plotting against them or doing something. It can be extremely disruptive to relationships. It is part of the biology of that drug. Interestingly, with cocaine, people get a preoccupation with uniformed officers. Acute paranoias that there's somebody in a uniform outside waiting to get them. They peek out the window, and many times they hallucinate and see them. But with amphetamine, it's a much more pernicious, slow, destructive, delusional preoccupation with your family members and your friends, and that too can persist for up to 6 months after you stop doing speed. So Roz, the absolute critical issue here is you getting into some sort of effective treatment, and I would suspect that it would require staying somewhere for somewhere between 1, 3, even 6 months if there's going to be any probability of you staying off this drug, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right there, Roz. Yeah, speed is...
It's also the drug of violence.
Speed is by far the most evil of the drugs.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so insidious. It disrupts relationships. And this is the drug that people do when they kill people. They get violent. It's just the drug of violence.
Sylvia?
Yes, I'm here.
What's going on?
I've been with my husband for married for 4 years, together for about 5.5. And basically what happened is I've been totally faithful up until about 4 months ago. I had my first affair. It wasn't like a one-night stand. It was a hot romance. It lasted about the weekend. And since then, there's been about 4 others. We have 2 kids together. I love him to death. I believe he's my soulmate, but sexually we're just not compatible. He just doesn't satisfy me. He never really has. Basically, what I need to know is how the hell do I stop, because we have 2 small kids together, and I love him to death, and I'm just afraid I'll lose him.
All right.
Yeah, you need to stop.
I'm getting some nuttiness in Sylvia's voice.
And you said this happened 4 times since it was with the same guy, right?
No, it hasn't been.
So there's been more than one person?
There's been more than one, yeah.
How many?
But less than 2?
No, not less than 2.
That's just a little... just screwing with you there, Sylvia.
How many?
Could be
Has
1.5, could it?
Has she explored her, with her husband, their sex life? Tried to tell him what she needs to be satisfied?
He's the reserved one. I'm the one who tries everything, and frankly, I'm tired of it. I want to be the one who's like romance, and, he just doesn't make me feel incredible like the other men have.
Yeah, but listen, everybody, you're like a new car. You get washed all the time. You know what I mean? When the lease, when you're 5 years into the lease, that's when you finish off the McDonald's and you just chuck it in the back of it. So you put like this cigarette out on the dashboard.
Sylvia,
of course, all guys do this when they first meet a chick.
All people do this to each other.
Yeah,
Women do it as
everything.
well.
I know, I understand
These
that, but I'm
problems
just...
come up for everyone. There's a boundary question, though, of why have you gone to the side that it's okay to cheat?
Well, because I didn't feel guilty the first time.
Yeah, but there's something about some past here, Sylvia. What about your past? I can hear something in your voice.
What about it?
Sylvia, what happened to you growing up?
Nothing. If you're asking if I was abused or anything like that, no, I wasn't.
But did your family your dad have a mom have affairs? It get kind of chaotic?
No, they weren't happy, but neither of them had affairs, no.
What if your husband had an affair? How would you feel about that?
Well, I've often asked him if he wanted to be with someone else, then, you know, that I would allow it, but he just doesn't have any desire to.
What do you mean?
What if he is now, and you don't know it?
Then we live with it.
Sylvia, what do you mean the parents weren't happy? What does that mean?
Pardon?
What does it mean your parents weren't happy?
Well, they argued a lot. My mother said she was just with him because of us kids.
All right, very, very similar kind of a feel to the relationship.
Guess what you're in? You just got done 5 minutes ago, although it feels like 2 days ago, saying you have little ones, and that's kind of why you're together.
Yeah, it's the same relationship.
And it's the modeling thing of your mother didn't care about him, but just stayed in it.
Right.
You're going to have to break that cycle.
But you're not going to break this cycle by getting passed around Canada.
No.
Your job is to get some therapy, look into it, stop acting out.
Yes.
You have kids. For Christ's sake, everybody, you got kids. Stop it. You're doing the same thing your mom did. You want to damn your kids to that same fate, or can you just break the chain here? And believe me, they'll do the same.
Oh yes.
Just like you're doing. Why isn't that so brutally apparent to everybody? All right, everyone should host the show so they would know how brutally apparent it is.
All right, that's good advice.
Drew, hold that book up. We're going to give this to Robert because we're looking to plug the book, and Robert's looking to plug his wife.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't know.
We'll see what kind of advice you got in here.
Thanks. Robert Patrick, the faculty.
Maybe I can get you guys to sign this for me.
We absolutely will.
All right.
That wraps up another fabulous episode of Loveline. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew and Diane Farr saying mahalo.
Loveline is a Stone Stanley production. Yeah. Cool.